earlier within a few seconds is that I am a very proud Carolinian. And there is obvious reason for each one of us to be proud of who you are. And when I was an educator, and now the topics at hand, or one of the topic is culture and education. Now I'm up here trying to understand myself, culture and politics, or politics and culture. It could be friends. It could be enemies. It's almost like life. There are always two things in life: the good or the other side of good. Hot, cold. High, low. What I'm trying to say here is that now with the present topic, politics and culture, or vice versa, I think that needs to be emphasized. At least these are going to be my personal thoughts. And let me ask that perhaps at some point that because of our knowledge and because of what Dr. Betances has showed us and previous speakers have showed us, our knowledge here, but more importantly, our knowledge here. But you can use this knowledge to try to understand perhaps culture and use it so that it benefits culture. And now as a politician, let me ask that on my personal note, my upbringing is my guide to now where I am as a politician. It has molded me. My culture has molded me, and being proud of it has molded me to try to see what is the best policy that we need to formulate. So I'm going to ask you, perhaps if you understand, or if you don't, then go into the knowledge of the modern era now on what seventh generation means. Seventh generation. These are proverbs, or this is a proverb from the native tribes. And I can comfortably say perhaps Dr. Betances is fairly aware, and most of us here. Reason why I ask that is that these are the things that shape us. I'm sure everybody knows that we only borrow these lands from our children. And so one of the things that we were trying to define within the past few weeks is IL, Indigenous Leadership. So with that in mind, maybe we should also define politics. We already understand some degree of culture, but what is politics? Politics then, growing up, is not the same as politics now. Politics then used to be a lot of personal attacks. But now, with knowledge, that has shifted. So it is very important and crucial for you, to be involved in the process of policymakers. Because we don't know all the answers, and it is only appropriate that we use whatever data, scientific research, what's from the heart, our desires that we feel that it is good for our people. Then that's why we also need your involvement. And the process of legislation is easy. It's just that the matter of the principles that's applied to that process that's more difficult. And with that, the technology, we already have websites. You can try to get the information that we tried to convey, that my colleague was trying to convey earlier. I think that's very crucial. Thank you. Quina, 30 seconds?
Thank you, Congressman. And now, as we have opened the floor to 2 questions before we break up into groups, because Saipan Southern High School needs to leave now. But before you leave, you need to fill out your evaluation forms, please. And you have cards on your tables too. So please, if you have any suggestions, views, ideas, or questions, please write it on the cards and leave it on the table, and we'll make sure they're collected at the end of the day. But Saipan Southern High School, before you leave, please fill out the evaluation forms. And then we'll have 2 questions on the floor. There's one up here.
May I say something, Mistress of Ceremony? Please make sure that you write your questions and leave them on the table besides the evaluation. Please, we need it to incorporate all your concerns.
Speaker?
Good afternoon. I just want to make some statement here. The subject is culture and politics. I think we should understand that it is through our culture that what makes us to achieve what we have in the covenant and in the Constitution. It was through the exercise of our culture. The international community recognized us as people of the Northern Mariana Islands, the Carolinians and the Chamorro. And through that political process, when we were negotiating the covenant, it was then that the United States of America, including the United Nations, recognized the importance of culture, traditions, how land connect to our culture and livelihood. And through that, we have our own